Are you ready to evolve your life? Are you ready to see immense growth and manifestation in your life? Are you ready to evolve every aspect of your mind, body, and your soul? Well, you're tuned in to Evolved Mastery, and I'm your host, Princeton Clark, and it is my goal to assist you on your journey of self-mastery as you create greatly in every moment of your life. So join me in this episode of Evolved Mastery. Hey, what's going on, guys? Princeton Clark here, and you're tuned into another episode of Evolved Mastery. First off, I want to thank you guys for your patience. I know it's been a while since I posted a new podcast, but following the creation of this podcast, I went through a lot of shifts and a lot of changes as I continued the branding process for Evolved Mastery and the new platforms, the mentorship program, the coaching, and the whole nine. And a lot of opportunities were presented to me. Life blessed me with some amazing open doors. My partner and I are getting ready to expand Evolved Mastery and really go deeper in love, not just together, but in the message that we have for you guys. But so many things have happened, and I appreciate your patience. So for those of you who consistently follow the podcast, share the podcast, and help me in being a light in the world, I have something special for you at the end of this podcast today. But without further ado, I'm going to just go ahead and jump into this podcast today. Today, I'm dealing with the topic of the hypershift. Now, I know some of you may say, what's hypershift? And hypershift, in short, is an expedited state of growth. Now, on the surface, that seems like something amazing. And in truth, it is truly amazing. But with the hypershift, what's happening is there's been a huge shift that's been happening since the 80s. And if you're listening to this, if you're all about energy work and you understand energy, you understand the shifting of energy around you, the shifting of the planet, so on and so forth. Consciously, there has been a huge conscious shift that started centuries ago, but in the 80s, it really began to rev up. And what we've seen, even leading up to today's society, is the effects of that shift. A lot of things have been brought to the forefront, a lot of issues socially, personally, and in every aspect of the world are coming to the surface. Things that we are being forced to pay attention to and act upon in an area where we're going to be able to create change. And we are not excluded from this shift. What many of us are beginning to experience, and I thought it fitting to do this podcast because as I felt out the energies, and I've been going through this flux lately, and I personally had been feeling the energy of this hyper shift, but I couldn't put my finger on initially what was happening because, everything was going great for me. I was in a positive place. Naturally speaking, everything was manifesting that I have the potential to utilize to further my position and my ability to step further into my purpose and my potential in this world. And so I couldn't understand, why was I feeling this? And then it hit me in meditation today that what I was feeling was not my energy, but the energy of all of you, the energy of all of the people out there who have incarnated with a great purpose, the energy of everyone out there who has incarnated to step into a level of mastery that's going to bring change to this world. And what's happening is, for many of you, a lot of things have been coming to the surface. Residue from old traumas, unhealed areas holding resentment, self-imposed limitations, doubts, worries, fears, limiting beliefs, etc. All these different things have been coming to the surface. For some of you, everything seems to be going great on the surface, and you've been struggling to understand why you've been feeling this way. But the truth is, you're being forced to expand. As you expand and step into your power and really move into your purpose, the closer you get to your purpose, the faster things begin to move. It's like a generator. You guys have heard me talk about the generator before. The more a generator spins, the more conscious you become, the more energy it creates. Now, when you understand that you are pure energy, you are pure spirit, and you are generating with every action. So the more aware you become, the more conscious you become of your power as a creator, what begins to happen is that energy begins to shift and pull. It begins to magnetize things to you that you need to heal, work on, build, or change. And so take this as a sign that where you are right now, life is saying to you, spirit, the divine is saying to you, it's time for you to own your power, step into your power, and move in your power. It's time for you to heal those areas of unforgiveness. It's time to heal all those areas that create doubt, all those areas that create worry. It's time to go in and do that mental work to remove the mental limitations and those mental programs that begin to fire when you go to take a step into newness. It's time to deal with all those things. Even those of you out there who are like myself, everything is going great. And, like I said, you haven't been able to put a finger on it. Life is saying it's time for you to trust that exactly what you're doing is what you are meant to be doing. Stop doubting it. Stop looking at the world. Stop wondering if you're going to be provided for, because the universe says your purpose will provide for you. Your purpose will open doors for you and make connections that will further facilitate the process of your purpose. Now, I know that, talking about this hyper shift still, those of you who have been going through this process, maybe you've been dealing with depression or this overwhelming sense of anxiety in the pit of your stomach, almost like you're at war with yourself. For those of you who have not been experiencing the best of experiences on the surface or internally, I want to say this to you. What the Spirit is saying to you right now, what the divine is saying to you right now is, because your purpose is so great, it's time to make a choice. Because your purpose is so great, you can no longer stay where you are and be happy. You can no longer stay in what has been a comfort zone any longer. You're being forced. You guys have heard the podcast that I did on the 4 levels of growth, the 4 growth zones, in which I talk about, the first zone being the comfort zone, the second zone being the fear zone, the third zone being the learning zone, and the fourth zone being the growth zone. Well, many of you are being pushed out of that comfort zone in many areas of your life, whether it be relationships, whether it be your job, whether it be the circumstances that you've been living in, the people you've been associating with, the life and lifestyle that you've been accepting. You're being forced out of that. All of those areas are being made uncomfortable for you right now. And on the other side, as I said in the 4 Growth Zones podcast, on the other side of that is the fear zone. Now, don't see the fear zone as a negative. When those fears and those doubts start coming up and all these different things start to bombard you, that simply means you have been pushed or you have chosen to step out of the comfort zone. And as you stepped out of that comfort zone, or as you have been pushed divinely out of that comfort zone, now you're feeling that fear. But fear is just a stepping stone. Once you step over that fear and you choose to start learning and understanding, start retaining information, start seeking out mentors, start seeking out coaches who are also guides in this journey. There are people on this planet like myself. I'm not the only one. There are other people on this planet who have been divinely gifted to teach and guide those of you on your journey. And so you really aren't alone, even though those mental programs in your head will make you feel like you're so alone. Nobody loves you. You got to do it all by yourself. And it's so hard and nobody cares. Forget all that noise, because that's all it is. It's just noise. So I want to encourage you today. Step over this fear zone that you've been experiencing. It's time to step into the learning zone. It's time for you to start gaining the wisdom necessary to expand, because you're being pushed into an expedited state of growth. And in order to grow, you have to learn. Just like a child taking its first steps, you're going to stumble, you're going to fall, but each step that you take, as you guys have heard me say before, is a step further than you would have stepped. It doesn't matter if you fall, as long as you're learning, because when you stand up, you'll be able to apply what you learn so that you can take another step and another step and another step, so on and so forth. But in this expedited hyper state of growth that you are in right now, in this hyper shift that you are experiencing right now, the divine is calling you, the spirit is calling you to shift out of the old and into the new. It's calling you to acknowledge the areas that you doubt yourself, because in those areas, there are lessons to be learned. In those areas, there are opportunities for you to expand and attract and generate newness in your life. But if you don't take the step from this point, things will continue to get harder for you. You can't go back to that comfort zone anymore. And a part of you knows that. A part of you has known it for a while. For those of you who have been in this place for so long, and you've made excuses for yourself. I struggle with anxiety. I have all these disorders. I can't deal with certain energy. I want to challenge you to acknowledge your power, because so many of you are not acknowledging your power. Anxiety in and of itself is really a sign that you have a gift. You're super sensitive to energy around you. And so when you start feeling anxious, you have to move your energy. You have to find more positive ways to move your energy and interact with the world around you. Because what happens to most people is they get stuck and they want to hide. They want to go under a rock and just disappear. And this creates a depressed state, a compressed state. And so you wonder why so many people in this season, in this shift, are struggling with depression. It's because their gifts are activating and they're not stepping forward. Their purpose is prompting them to move and they're not moving. That's what's happening. And then you have this whole host of people who are going to doctors and psychiatrists, and they're being put on medication and prescribed for this, prescribed for that, being given marijuana, smoke this, smoke that. And it's like, you don't need that. I'm going to say this because it's my podcast and I can say it and it's true. People don't need marijuana to deal with anxiety, because all that is another coping mechanism. It's just another excuse for you not to learn to master your energy. It's another excuse for you not to learn to step into your power. And it's an easy way out. But ultimately, marijuana creates codependency. When you're going through all these shifts, and I feel like I got to go this way. I didn't really plan to go this way, but I'm going to hit on this. But marijuana creates a codependency, just like alcohol and any other substance that inhibits the mind, inhibits the brain, and allows you to disconnect. Because ultimately, that's what you're doing. You're disconnecting. You're desensitizing yourself. So you think that when you smoke marijuana or you drink or whatever it is that you use as a coping mechanism, you think that it's helping you, but in all actuality, it's actually hindering you. And then when that high is gone or that experience is gone, what begins to happen is that those sensitivities come back, and they come back even stronger. So now you got to do it even more. And so I just wanted to touch on that for those of you who are buying into this whole social idea that you need drugs or that you need marijuana or you need alcohol or you need any of these other coping mechanisms or tools, so to speak, that the world uses to cope. You are not a part of this system. You were not put here. You did not incarnate into this life to cope. You were put here to step powerfully into your purpose. You were put here to step powerfully into your gift. Now, again, getting back to this hyper shift, this is forcing you. For some of you, you've been utilizing these things, and things that used to work for you are not even working for you. And now you're at a point where it's like, I give up. I don't know what's happening. It's driving you crazy. It's almost like you're warring with two parts of yourself. And the truth is, you are the old you and the true you. See, a lot of people have no idea what they are. They have no idea how powerful they are. This world has us so focused on what I call the branches of life. It has us so focused on money, houses, cars, lack, what we don't have in comparison to what other people have, so on and so forth. All these things on the surface. And what that does is it creates this illusion. And when this illusion becomes big enough, we get lost in that illusion. We create attachments to ideas, perspectives, and all these different things that keep us blinded to our purpose. And when you start to grow and you start to experience what many of you are experiencing right now through this shift, you are being called out of the illusion. It's like Neo waking up from the Matrix. Once he realized that he was being used as a tool to power the Matrix, and he truly accepted his gift. He truly accepted the truth that he was the one that could change the reality of it all. He discovered a power within himself that not even the Matrix could stop. And so I'm challenging you guys today to step into your power and own it, because nothing can stop you when you begin to step into your power. And as I said, in this season of life, if you don't know what to do, there are people and programs in place for you to begin seeking out mentorship and coaching. That's why I do what I do. I offer the podcast and I post stuff on social media to assist, to create a supportive platform for people. But at the same time, I want to challenge you guys to really accept your responsibility, your ability to respond right now in the midst of this shift, as hard as I know that it is for you, because I've been there. I've had to grow through so many hyper shifts on my 15-year journey, mastering my own life. And so I recognize the patterns. I recognize the struggle. I recognize the lessons and the blessings that come as a result of it. But I also understand that in order to move out of this, there's only one simple answer. You have to move. You can't stay where you are, having the same conversations, talking to the same people, dealing with the same drama, questioning the same doubts, fearing the same hypothetical end that you don't want to happen when you take a step. You can't be in that state any longer, because your life, the energy of your life, is in a state of hyper shift, and it's forcing you to evolve. Now, either you will evolve or you will get lost so deep within yourself that no aspect of your life will bring you peace. And for some of you, you're already in that place. But I'm here to tell you that this hyper shift that you're in is a blessing to you. And you're not alone. No matter what your brain tells you, no matter what the programs tell you, no matter what society looks like with all the negative BS that's being put out there, you are not alone. And I love you. And that's why I felt the need to do this podcast tonight, because it's really important for those of us who are here to master some aspect of this plane personally and externally in every aspect, so that we can truly step into that to bring change to this world. If you are experiencing this, it's because you are here with a great purpose to bring change to this world. And I know that it can feel so lonely sometimes. Trust me, I know. But this shift is coming, and it's communicating a message to you that you are too valuable to stay where you are. You are too valuable to get comfortable. You are too valuable to sit back and let life happen to you. You are too valuable to let people's opinions of you keep you where you are. You are too powerful and too valuable to only do the minimum. You are too valuable to continue in this insane cycle and this matrix that you've accepted as a reality. So if you want to change that, you have to step into your power. If you want to change that, you have to start accepting the fact that nothing in your life is going to change until you become the generator that I know you are and start generating newness in your life. And this may mean for some of you, you have to really work intently every single day to do something more positive, to reach out, to ask for assistance on your journey, to read a new book, to watch some videos that are going to motivate you and inspire you. If you don't know what to watch, you don't know what to read, reach out to me. My tag on all social media is Evolved Mastery. And so you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me at my website, you can message me directly, and I'll give you some tips. I'm doing free consultations right now. So you get 20 to 30 minutes to just talk to me, to get a master session, just to get regrounded in what you are. And I'm offering that to all the listeners of my podcast. But even beyond that, those of you who have been so patient, who have been tuned in, who have stayed connected, who've shared the content and who will continue to share the content, I really want to give you guys something special. So starting next Monday, I'm going to be hosting every week. I'm going to be hosting a Zoom call, and you are invited personally by me to join that Zoom call. It's a free Zoom call, and I'm only going to be sending the link to those who contact me and those who really show the intention and the passion and the heart to step beyond the fear, step out of the comfort zone, who are ready to learn. And each week I'm going to be dropping golden nuggets for you. I'm also preparing, for those of you who are interested, I'm preparing for my 60 Days to Self-Mastery mentorship program. And that will be calls each week more intently focused on, building better relationships, building out your purpose, infusing your every aspect of your life, with your purpose, whether that's your business, your relationships, every aspect. But guys, listen, you have been in this shift for a really long time, but now you are moving into a hyper shift, and things are going to continue to happen faster and faster and faster. But the great thing about it is, if you can accept your ability to respond and you can take the steps to shift out of where you've been, accept your power and accept your purpose, everything around you, the same way all these things have been coming to the surface super fast, forcing you to face them, forcing you to do the work, forcing you to acknowledge that you can no longer be where you are. The same way that that's been happening, if you can accept your responsibility and love yourself enough to take the step, you're going to begin to see expedited growth in your life. And I'm not talking about a month from now, a year from now, 10 years, 5 years, 20 years. I'm talking about within the day that you begin to make that decision, whether it's to get a mentor, whether it's to read a new book, whether it's to start doing your meditations, whether it's to wake up every day, and before you do anything, before you pick up your phone, you list all the things that you're grateful for. There's so many different things that I can share with you guys. And that's why I'm offering the Zoom. But guys, I'm telling you, if you will start committing yourself to responding to your life, responding to taking action to create change in your life, responding to taking that step that you've been questioning, responding to taking on, those new opportunities that you've been concerned about lately. If you will just step into it, start making the changes, start taking the steps, I can promise you that on the other side of that is something amazing. On the other side of that is a blessing, because with every lesson comes a blessing, as I said before. But again, I know that this can be a process, but change begins the moment you make decisions. As I always say, this moment is your most powerful moment, because it's what you do in this moment that creates the next. So if you're not responding in your life in a more conducive manner, if you're not accepting your power, and I mean accept it right now, accept why you are here. Accept that this isn't happening to you because, your life is so terrible. This is happening to you because you have a great purpose in this world. I always say life is like that drill sergeant in boot camp. That drill sergeant will hammer you and knock you down and force you through all these grueling tasks. But that same person will be right by your side the moment you put on that uniform and accept your role in the military. Same thing with the divine. The divine is saying, you were called for this. You've been chosen for everything that you have purposed in your soul. You've been chosen for greatness. You've been chosen to be powerful. You've been chosen to bring great things to this world. And I'm going to knock you down. I'm going to push you, even if it takes me pushing you to your limit, even if it takes me pushing you beyond you. I'm going to push you Because when you decide to put on the uniform of love, the uniform of power, the uniform of purpose, the uniform of your potential, I'm right there beside you and I'm ready to move with you. I'm right there beside you and I'm ready to manifest the greatness that is about to be birthed in you. I'm ready to give you all the resources that you need, but I need you to step now. This hyper state that you're in right now is requiring you to shift now. That's why the hyper shift happens. It's about expedited growth. You've been where you are for long enough. Now it's time for you to accept why you've been where you are and make a decision to step into your newness. And as I said, for those of you who are following this podcast, reach out to me on my website. It's www.evolvedmastery.com. That's EVOLVED mastery.com. You can also find me on Instagram and on Facebook. Look me up, contact me. We'll have a consultation. We'll have a little power session, really get some things dialed in. And if you want to take it to the next level and you want to be a part of the mentorship program that I'm about to start, the 60 Days of Self-Mastery, you're welcome to join that if life permits, but at the same time, like I said, I'm also starting next Monday. I'm in Arizona. So I guess that would be Pacific Standard Time for those of you who are wondering. I'm in the state of Arizona. So every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to be hosting a podcast. I'm going to be hosting my Zoom, and it's for all of you who are truly ready to take your life to the next level. But I need you to reach out to me. I need you to contact me. You can email me directly if you would like. My email is P as in Paul, CLARK at Evolved Mastery, pclark@evolvedmastery.com. Reach out to me, or like I said, reach out to me via social media. But guys, hey, there's a lot of great things that are on the way. I have a few new podcast segments that I'm going to be adding to the Evolved Mastery podcast. My significant other and I are getting ready to start Evolved Mastery Relationship Edition, moving from relationship to partnership, really breaking down the dynamic of what it takes to build a real partnership in your life, the preparation that it takes, the understanding, the level of wisdom, and the things that you need to apply in your life to prepare you for partnership. We're going to be doing that. Also, she's going to be doing another segment that's called In Love She Rises, and it's geared towards women rising in your divine feminine, understanding that in the divine feminine, you as women are so powerful. But we're also going to be bringing in different discussions talking about the divine masculine, because we all have both parts, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. But she's going to mainly be focusing on the divine feminine, because so many women have gotten so masculine in their energy that they're losing out on a whole aspect of their power, their beauty, and their creative ability and potential. So she's going to be bringing that to you guys, and she's going to have some guests on the show, and I'm super excited for that. Also, I'm going to be starting Mastery 360, another segment in which I'm going to be sitting down with different people from different walks of life, professionally and personally, who have mastered certain areas of their life. And they're going to be sharing what it took for them, what those lessons taught them, what their mastery in those areas brought into their life, the challenges they had to face, so on and so forth. So I want you guys to stay tuned. Your patience will be well rewarded. And again, I truly, truly, truly appreciate you all. But listen, guys, I'm going to check out. But like I said, you are in a hyper shift because you are so important and the world needs you. We can look around and we see all these things happening, and the world is calling out for the masters. It's calling out for those who are here to bring change. It's calling out for those who have a voice for change. It's calling out for those who are here to bring something special to the world. And no matter how you may be feeling right now, if you are listening to this podcast, you are one of those people. You are the people that I am here to assist on your journey. And I'm looking forward to doing just that. Listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Stay tuned for the next Evolved Mastery podcast and the new segments that are yet to come. If you'd like to reach out to me, like I said, once again, across all social media platforms, Evolved Mastery, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or you can contact me directly through the website. There's some new things and some new changes I'm going to be making to the website and bringing to the website. I'm going to be adding some new videos. And also, for those of you who like to watch videos on YouTube, we're getting ready to start videoing the Evolved Mastery podcast. So you'll be able to listen and watch. So I'm super excited to bring all of that to you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing night, day, whatever time it is where you are. Just know it's time for you to move. It's time for you to step. It's time for you to step into mastery. Thank you for listening to Evolved Mastery today, and I'll be talking to you again soon. Princeton Clark, signing out.